You're listening to Independent TV 7. Kindly click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Independent TV 7. Also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get more notification. Thanks for watching. Breaking news. The National Assembly ignores governors and passes Electoral Amendment Bill to Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari has on Friday received the harmonized version of the 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill from the National Assembly as lawmakers ignored the Nigerian Governors Forum pressure to remove the direct primaries clause in the bill. The chairman, Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission, Kabiru Gaya, revealed this on Thursday. Gaya announced the transmission of the bill to the president while briefing newsmen in Abuja after submitting the INEC Independent National Electoral Commission 2022 budget. He said he believes in direct primaries because it is about taking democracy to the grassroots. He said, "I believe that direct primary is taking democracy to the grassroots. That is what President Buhari always talk about. It will allow people who are card-carrying members of the party to decide who should be their candidate. We are happy with it and we believe that President Buhari will sign the bill very soon." The National Assembly will transmit the bill to the president this week for assent, and we expect that he will sign it into law by the grace of God. That is coming from Gaya. Gaya added that the amendments were made based on requests from Nigerians. He said, "The amendments were made based on the views and requests of Nigerians. I believe that it will help to guarantee free, fair, and credible elections in the country." On malfunctioning BIVAs, which is BIVAS, during the Anambra State governorship election, he said, "We keenly watched the Anambra governorship election and we realized that BIVAS has serious problems. We are surprised that the machines manufactured has been malfunctioning and also malfunctioned at the Anambra governorship election because they worked perfectly when INEC demonstrated them for us at the committee. We have agreed to try the machines in other elections coming up in 2022 so as to determine their functionality because before the 2023 general election comes, yes, the machine should have been working very fine." That is what Gaya said. We will still have the Ekiti and Osun elections coming up. However, INEC is already working on the solution so that we will not have problems in 2023. I will not agree that it is a case of a sabotage because it is an electronic device that could fail, but we already have provisions for spare. If a machine fails, a new one would be brought in. It is even good that it happened in the Anambra governorship election. If it had happened at the general elections, it would be a catastrophe. Unlike in the past, when funds for elections were released a few weeks to the elections, at the time we specifically mentioned that part of the funds meant for the election must be provided a year before the election. That is why we have a proposal for partial release of 100 billion naira for the 2023 general election in the budget of 2022. Wow. Well, to continue, according to the report, says you budgeted 100 billion naira for the 2023 general elections, and Nigeria is owing a huge amount of money, and they cannot pay. They have not even think of paying back the debt we are owing. We still keep accumulating. So this is why they went on rampage to borrow money so that they can use it to fund election. Nigeria, we are gone. Well, according to him, he says we are hoping that we could get further funding before the election. As you can see, Yoruba will say, you are saying you still want to hope, or you are still hoping that you could get further funds to sponsor election. Wow, Nigerians. And that was why Pastor Paul Adefarasin said you should have a plan B in Nigeria, because as it is, in the area of security, we are doomed. In the area of economy, we are doomed. So these people will just borrow money, and for their own selfish interest, they decide what to do with the money, and they don't follow the proceedings. And meanwhile, when they go out to borrow such money, they would say they want to use the money for infrastructure. And meanwhile, the infrastructure you are talking about They will count the numbers of citizens you have, getting accumulated BVN, and they would, borrow money on behalf of the citizens, and which the citizens or the people representing the citizens, which is the House of the Senate or House of Assembly, has not even, seek the opinion of the citizens. They believe they are representing the citizen. When you now borrow the money, you don't even carry the citizen along. You do whatever you want to do with impunity, and that is what is embedded in Nigeria as it is today. In this present administration, present dispensation of Muhammadu Buhari, he has, took us back to the orthodox way of living, and we are living, I wouldn't say we are living in penury, but directly that is what it is, because from hand to mouth, that's what the Nigerian state is living on, because no one, is excused or is exempted in this, because the inflation is very high just because of scarcity of funds. Meanwhile, they that oversee these funds are sharing it among themselves with impunity. They declare whatever they want to declare. They give law at their own will. Well, I pray we have a second thought, or as it is that Pastor Paul Adefarese said, we should have a plan B, and God will definitely help us. That is what it is. To continue, he says we are hoping that we could get further funding before the election. The 100 billion naira will allow INEC to order materials that it will need ahead of the elections, including machines that could be manufactured here in the country. And that is what it has been released. Gaya has already said it. He said the so-called machine that was used in Anambra election was malfunctioning. Why will it malfunction? If truly you want to pass the, I don't know, maybe it's the electronic bill you are passing, or the amendment electoral bill. That is what they are. You understand? Because I don't really get it. You borrow money, you share it among yourselves. Even if you don't share it, you budget, a huge amount, as close to 100 billion naira for machine. Well, how many centers do we have for the election, or how many constituencies, or how many jurisdictions do we have that you estimated over 100 billion naira, and you are still seeking for further funding to import more machines that would dictate election? Except you want to tell us that there won't be any rigging again. But the APC, I believe, that is their watchword, because they know how to rig elections. Well, let's listen to one or two comments before we, draw the curtain on this. Well, someone says 100 billion naira as part of INEC budget for 2023 general election. There is God. There is really God. Partial release. 100 billion naira. So they are still seeking for more funding. That's what I said. Somebody is just, for election in this useless contraption called country. How then will the country progress or develop if you are budgeting 100 billion naira for just election? That is why the country is impoverished. And if a country is impoverished, the citizens and the people in there are just nowhere to be found. That is the narrative they are telling us and playing to us. He even said partial release. That's what he said. That means they are expecting more. Yes, he has said it already, that they are expecting more funding, which I equally read here. Well, it is only God that would save us in this country. I have said it, Pastor, to buttress what Pastor Paul Adefarese said, that we should have a plan B. Yeah, your plan B could be that you want to travel out. Your plan B is that you want to double your hustle, or your plan B could be your decision. That is at your own will, at your own discretion. Well, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. I would like you to share your views in the comment section. Thanks for listening.